If you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button and then the like button, and if you wouldn't mind sharing, that would be great. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, everyone. So here are your amazing ingredients that you're going to need for this. We're going to have some egg whites, which is what's going to make the cake so moist and fluffy, just like I do on my German chocolate cake. It's the same situation. We're going to fold in the egg whites. Here are the regular eggs. They go together. And then we're going to have some sugar. Don't worry about the ingredients. I'll put all of that down in the description box. Then we're going to put in some freeze-dried strawberries. This is the packet here that you're going to want to get if you want to try that. These came from Kroger's, but they also sell them in Walmart, I believe. We have some strawberry milk. We have some cake flour. This is the brand that I choose to use. My mother used this all her life with her German chocolate cake, and I just like the brand. In the flour, which I have already sifted, I have flour, baking powder, and salt. I'll put the measurements down in the description box for that. Then we're going to put in some fresh strawberries. Don't know if you have one of these gadgets, but they are amazing. It's like a chopper. It says Vidalia chopper on it, but Vidalia chop wizard, but it's amazing. And it chops your strawberries nice and fine. It comes with 2 of these, a small dice and a larger dice. So I chopped up some of the strawberries and then I put a little sugar on them and a little bit of lemon juice. The lemon juice is what's going to keep them from turning brown. So that's that. We're also going to put some puree, strawberry puree, which I have gone ahead and made. There it is. I've actually used some before and I have this left. So we're going to use this, and it's nothing but these frozen strawberries, frozen sliced strawberries that I bought right at Ingles. And you're going to just put them in a pot. Well, yeah, I've already done it. So you're going to put these in a pot with some sugar and lemon juice and just cook them down until they reduce. And I'll put all that in the description box so you know how to make this. We're going to add a little bit of that in the actual cake. I also put just a dash of strawberry flavoring. And I buy this, actually it's an emulsion, and it just does something to the strawberry cake. It's amazing. And I buy this through Loranne. So I will I will add a link in the description box for where you can purchase this. And just a splash of strawberry flavor. And just a splash of vanilla flavor. And I will put the measurements again down in the description box. You're going to need oil. I prefer to use Wesson oil. Again, this is the kind of oil that I make my red velvet cake with, and it's just amazing. Okay, and that is all of your ingredients. Again, here's our pans. I'm making 3-inch, 6-inch pans, 6-inch round, and 3-inch high. And then what I choose to do when I take them out, you've already seen me do this, I just cut them in half because I like tall cakes, and that's that. And then over here, we have our buttercream that I had some already made, and then I'm gonna make some to add with it. And you just use confectionery sugar or powder, confectionery powder, and butter. And then you're also going, I like to use Swiss meringue. You're going to also need some egg whites to do the Swiss meringue. So that's that. And we're going to get started. The first thing we're going to do is put our 4 egg yolks, 1/4 cup of our sugar, which is divided. I have a 1/4 cup here and a 1/4 cup here. And then we're going to take a tablespoon of sugar to add with that. I'm going to put that in there. Then we're going to put in our vanilla in here. We're going to put a teaspoon of vanilla in there. Again, I will put in the ingredients down in the measurements. I will put the measurements down in the description box. Okay, that's a 1/2 teaspoon, so we want a whole teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're going to put in some of our strawberry emulsion. And I think I had a 1/2 teaspoon in here. Put half a teaspoon of that in there. And then we're going to put in some of our strawberry extract. Then we're going to put in some of our strawberry extract, which again, I'll put all the measurements down in the description box for you on that. And then we are going to put in 1/3 of a cup of our puree. 1/3 of a cup. I'm going to put in 1/3 cup of our puree, which is strawberry puree. There's strawberries that were frozen that I actually cooked down and reduced. And you're putting all of this in your mixture here. Okay. Now we're going to take a whisk and we're going to whisk that together slowly so we don't have it all over the place, actually. Okay. All right. Have all that together. See, we got all of our ingredients. Yep. Make sure it's nice and combined. Then we're going to pour it into our bowl that we're going to make our batter in. Pour that there. This is strawberry milk. And we're going to put a cup of milk in this here. I'm going to put a cup of milk. So we're going to start with flour. And then we're going to add milk. We'll get our mixer out. Get everything incorporated in here. Don't want to overmix. We just want to get it together, combine together. Now we're going to add some more flour. And remember, we always want to end with flour. To your baking again. Oh, that smells so good. I'm going to finish out with flour. We're done with that. Again, we're going to get this to just when we're combining it. Smells amazing. It's so good. Okay, now that we've got everything practically combined, let's go ahead and stop mixing because we don't want to overmix the cake. And now we're going to take our spatula back and go around and get all of our flour incorporated in there because we don't want to overmix. So now we're going to go with our spatula. Okay. So we've got everything in here, and it's a very small amount of flour, which you'll see when I go ahead and put it down in the description box. Okay, we're going to mix everything together. Okay, the freeze-dried strawberries, we're just going to chop these up. Not all the way because we do want to have a few chunks in there as well. That's perfect. Okay, here's how they look. It was half the bag, so here's how they look. You still got some chunks, and then you got some powder. So now, we're going to put that in our batter. So delicious. Now we're going to stir in our strawberry pieces, our freeze-dried strawberry pieces. Fold those in as well, stir them in rather. And then we're going to pour in the other half cup of our milk. There we go. If you don't add food color, this cake is going to come out like a beige gray like it looks right now. So I like to add just a pinch, a dot. Let's see what that does, how far red it gives us. You don't want it to be too red. And that was just a dot, and look at what it's doing. See that? So you don't want to put too much red in there, red food coloring. And this is gel food coloring I'm using. So this is going to be plenty. You only need one dot of that. One squeeze. And it's hard to do a squeeze, so be careful. You just need one dot. Okay? Now, what's going to make this cake so fluffy are these egg whites. So we're going to take the egg whites, we're going to add our remainder of our sugar as we are beating the egg whites, and add a little bit of vinegar to the egg whites, or if you have cream of tartar. Okay, we're going to add just a pinch of cream of tartar. Get a measuring stick for that measure. Okay, we want a very small teaspoon of this. I've got 1/4 teaspoon, and that's fine. Probably maybe half of that 1/4, which is more like 1/8 teaspoon. Okay. Okay, on our egg whites, we've got our pinch of tartar. We've got our 4 egg whites, and now we're going to beat these to a soft peak. And when this gets frothy, when I say frothy, see how it looks in there? It looks very frothy. Now we're going to take this sugar, remaining sugar, and we're going to slowly add it, a little bit at a time. Slowly add it. And I'm going to come back to you when this is finished to keep down the noise. Okay guys, this is soft peak. See the peaks in there? They're not hard, they're soft, they're laying over. So that's where you want this to be. Now we're going to fold, just like we do the German chocolate cake. We're going to take some of our egg whites, pour them in. Do not stir. We're just folding. So again, we're going around and over, around, over, 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 like so. You don't want to stir. You're stirring around the outside of the bowl. This is what's going to make it so soft and fluffy and chiffon-y, as you could, I guess I could say, like, make it a chiffon cake, because it's going to be very fluffy. And that's because of these amazing egg whites. Put the rest of them in 2 batches. Same thing. We're going to fold and fold. And it might look like, you know, you've got more white than pink, but don't worry about it. That's all going to be fine, because we're just going to go around and around, like so. I'm in the middle. Make sure you get the bottom. See how the bottom is down there? I'm going to grab that too. Now this mixture can also be used for cupcakes. If you want to not make a cake, you could use this for cupcakes. I do it for both, because you don't want to overfill your pans. That's the worst thing you can do. See, now everything is incorporated. See? It's getting there. Everything is kind of looking light pink now versus that dark on the bottom. See? Everything is kind of light pink now. See that? We're not stirring, we're just folding and going around. Now, that's our batter. I'm using a 3-inch pan. You don't have to use a 3-inch pan. You could use 3 tins, 8-inch tins, 2 9-inch, whatever it takes to fill the pan, as long as you fill them halfway. These are already measured out for you. This is a 6-inch round, and I'll put a link down where you can get these. They're so handy. You don't have to cut them. They're just parchment paper to help your cake not stick. So we've got 2 of these. You don't have to worry about putting any kind of flour or anything in the pan. Just throw these in there, and this will help you tremendously. Okay, so now we're going to pour this in our pans. Easy. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And remember, we want to get halfway as best we can. Okay. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Let's see. Still have some at the bottom. So we don't have enough for cupcakes, but this is the exact batter that you would use for cupcakes. No difference. You just put it in a cupcake pan, fill it 3/4 full, and you've got your cupcake mix. Okay, so now we are going to pop this in the oven. I like to do it on 325, and I like to cook them slow. If you have some of these are great. They're cake, it cooks your cake from the inside out, preventing it from cooking too fast around the edges and burning. Because sometimes if you cook your cake in the oven, you should always cook it on a slower temperature. So I'm gonna do mine at 325, and we'll check it. And I'll be right back when it's done. Okay, everyone, we are back, and the cake is done. Let's check. Okay, everyone, here she is. Let's check for doneness with our long toothpick. Look at that, completely clean. Completely clean. So they're done. Now we need to let them cool. We can do nothing with these cakes until they're cool. Again, we bake them on 325, and we bake them for 25 minutes. And now we have to let them completely cool. And then we will go ahead and frost them. Okay, everyone, we're back to cool. The cake has cooled down, and I've gone ahead and split one in half. And now I'm going to split the other one in half. And remember, just take yourself a wet dishcloth, put it down on your counter, then put your wheel, your turn, and then underneath your cake, you're going to put a little bit of put down a drawer. You put these in your drawer to keep things from sliding around. So you can put that down. Then you're gonna put your cake round, which is an 8-inch cake round, because we have a 6-inch cake, and we want it to be in the middle. So if you notice, if you turn your cake, if it's kind of wobbling, that means it's not in the center. So you just keep going until you can see how it's straight now? It's not going like kind of cockeyed. So you just, continue to maneuver it until you see it going straight. And with this, to cut your cakes even, you could use a leveler, but I'm just going to use a knife because I do it all the time. And the way you do it is you wedge your elbow on your side here. And then you get your cake in the middle. You want to try to make your layers as even as possible. See, right about there is even, right in the middle. And then you're going to keep that elbow wedged. Keep your elbow wedged in here, and slowly, slowly, slowly turn your cake around, moving the knife as you go. With a serrated edge, this is a serrated edge knife. You're going to slowly, slowly, slowly get back to the beginning, which is where we are now, right there at the beginning. Now you're just going to take your knife, and as you turn, slowly move your knife in the middle of the cake, like it's going to the other side, and slowly back and forth, slowly, slowly, and look, it's going to come right back out the side there, right where you cut it at, right there. Okay? So you're going to take each layer and separate it, and look how moist. Look at that. Look at that. And see the little pieces of strawberry in there? So that's what we're gonna do. And see, I prefer tall cakes. You don't have to have 4 layers, but I like tall cakes. So that's why I use 4 layers. So now we're gonna make some vanilla buttercream. We're gonna make some buttercream icing, and we're gonna need to go over to the mixer to do that. We're here over at the mixer, and I have put 6 ounces of egg whites. They're pasteurized, by the way. 6 ounces of pasteurized egg whites. Okay? And then we are going to put in, I've already put in 12 ounces of powdered sugar, confectionery sugar. This right here, 12 ounces of this. Now this is a half batch of buttercream because we're making a naked cake. A naked cake means that you don't fill the entire cake on the outside with frosting because some people don't like a lot of frosting. So this is a cake that I made that was not a lot of frosting. But you could double this recipe and make the entire batch. Now this, you're going to let it go, and then you're going to put a little bit of vanilla in here and some more of your puree so you can have that strawberry taste in your icing as well. So this is going to go for about 5 minutes, and I won't bore you with this, and I'll show you what it looks like in 5 minutes. Right back. Okay, everyone, we're back, and it's been about 5 minutes, and this is still very liquidy, as you can see right there. So now we're going to incorporate our butter, and this is meringue that we're making here, so I apologize for the noise, but we're going to go ahead and add a drop of this red in here as well, so that we can get some color with this. So I won't be talking much anymore. We'll turn this down a little bit as we drop our butter in. And we're just going to drop in the whole stick. That's it. Oop. This time I'm going to slow it down when I drop in this stick, because that one went everywhere. That's okay. Drop it in slowly. I'll bring your speed back up. Slowly. So it won't be everywhere. Put in a little bit of our puree. Heaping tablespoon. There we go. Teaspoon of vanilla. And just a pinch of salt. Put down on your sweet. And now we're going to let this go for about 8 to 10 minutes. And I'll bring you back to show what we have. Hello everybody, I am back. I've gone ahead and finished off the frosting for the cake. And here's what it looks like over here. And it's nice and creamy. As you can see, it's nice and creamy. I added some of my puree, my strawberry puree to that. So it'll have a strawberry kind of taste to it. So now what we're gonna do is go ahead and frost our cake. This is the fun part. So we've got our layers right here, as you can see. And we've got those. And basically you wanna let these cool down. You wanna let these cool completely down before you start icing your cake. And in my opinion, you really should sit them in the refrigerator to get them nice and chilled when you're frosting your cakes, to make sure the buttercream doesn't melt when you're trying to frost your cake. So here we are, we're gonna put just a little bit of buttercream on your cake board, and this is a cake board, and it's greased proof so it won't stain. So we're gonna put that down. Then we're gonna take one of our cakes that we cut in half, one of our layers, lay it there. And again, we wanna make sure it's centered. when we're doing this. Okay. Okay, now we're going to take our cake layers and we're going to decorate them, as I mentioned. But before we do that, we want to put some simple syrup on the cake layers. Simple syrup is the secret to having very moist cakes. Once I discovered it, I never turned back. All it is and I forgot to mention this in the beginning when I was describing the ingredients. All this is 1 cup of sugar and 1 cup of water, and you're going to microwave it until it gets clear, where all the granules are no longer there. That's what you're going to do. Then you're going to take your cake, let's see this way. We're going to take our cake and just with a spoon, just go over the top of your layers, not drenching them, but just the top and going in the middle. You've already done the outside, and that is it, okay? So that's called simple syrup, and it's going to keep your cakes nice and moist beyond belief, believe me. Okay, now we're going to take our piping bag, and I bought these roses because I wanted to do something a little different. It's going to be different than the thumbnail, but I wanted to add something beautiful for Thanksgiving, a touch for Thanksgiving. And I'll talk to you about those roses in a minute, what I just discovered as well in those. So what you're going to do is you're going to fill your piping bag. This is the lazy way. Just put it over your hand and pull it down, sleeves down like that. So you have a hole. There's your hole. I've got my little tip in there already, okay? So we're going to actually, let's go ahead and cut our tip. You see where the teeth start right about there? You see teeth right in there. You're gonna cut just above that. Just make yourself a little slit and go around it. Then you're gonna pull this back. I may have shown this in another video. And right where you made that little slit is where you wanna cut the bag. And what you're doing then is you're letting your piping tip just slip right in there, okay? So now back to what we're doing. Make sure you keep up with the tip because it'll wind up in your icing. So put that way over there, out of the way, okay? So now we're just gonna fill our bag because we're getting ready to ice this beautiful, delicious, and when I say delicious, it's delicious strawberry cake. You'll love this cake. If you're a strawberry lover, this is for you. If you're not, please try it. You will become a strawberry lover. I didn't like strawberry cake until I made this one. And so now we're gonna twist our bag. And that keeps the icing from coming back up this way. We want it to go down. So you're gonna make a dam around here because remember, we're gonna put some strawberries in there on each layer. So we're gonna make a dam. Just go around your cake, the border of your cake. And the reason for that is it will hold the strawberries and it won't let them come out. And we're not gonna go crazy with the strawberries because you know, when you put fruit inside of a cake, you do have to eat it sort of quick because you know, these are perishable. They'll go bad on you. So as you can see, how pretty is that? Oh my goodness. Okay, now we're gonna take our second layer. Now you won't put your simple syrup on this side. We're gonna put our simple syrup on the other side. So this one is what we're gonna frost. We're gonna ice this one, okay, like so. However thick you like your icing. Some people don't like a lot of icing. That's why this is a naked cake, because a lot of people don't like a lot of icing. So, and by the way, this icing is not very sweet. You'll be pleasantly surprised at just how good this is. It's not sweet at all. Well, not at all, but it is sweet, but not to the point where it's, you know, you're like chalk on a board with your teeth. And now we're just gonna take this layer, lay it right on top of that one slowly. There you go. Straighten them out and repeat. So now we're gonna take our simple syrup again and we're gonna go around the cake with it. This is what keeps the cakes moist. And you could do this with any cake. Even a moist, already moist cake, this cake is moist too. But it's something about this simple syrup that just takes it to a whole nother place. Okay, so we're gonna get this again. We might need to add a little bit since we did two things. We created our dam, and then we created our layer of icing. So we're gonna add a little bit more in there. Just shake it down like that, like so. Come on down with it, squeeze it, turn it. Then you get a little air in there. Just open your bag up again and just do like this, you know, squeeze it to get that air out. Okay, come back down with it, twist. And now we're going to put our dam again. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect, just enough to hold that icing in there. Hold these strawberries in there. So we're gonna put another layer of strawberries. And again, remember, when we did these strawberries earlier, we chopped them up with a little Vidalia onion chopper, which you can use it with anything. I use it with green bell peppers, whatever. Mushrooms, I chop it with all stuff. I use it to chop up all my things. There is your delicious layer, okay? Now you're gonna take that third layer. Yep, we got one more to go. Get that third layer out. And we're going to put, well, it doesn't matter. We're just gonna plop it on there. Remember, you don't put the simple syrup on this side. The icing side, it's the side that handles the strawberries. That'd be a little bit too much. Let's go back in there with it. And remember, this is a naked cake, so you don't have to worry about crumbs. Usually, I think you've seen in my other videos where you have to crumb coat the cake, put it in the refrigerator, come back out with it. No, not on this. On naked cakes, you don't have to do that because that's why they're called naked cakes, so you can see the crumbs of the cake. And there we go. Now, this hole in the middle of this cake is from where we had the rod, the temperature rod, which cooks the cake from the inside out, okay? So there we go. Now we're gonna put our layer of simple syrup on this cake, right there, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and put our frosting on, our dam again. And we're going to put our strawberries, our last bit of strawberries in there. And these strawberries, remember, when we chopped them up, they have sugar. Put a little, I spread some sugar on the top of them. And then I added some lemon juice, and see it's keeping its color. They're beautiful. Then we're gonna take our last layer, the top layer. You want to put this side, the cut side, down. And we're going to add our icing, again, our last layer of icing on the cake. Smooth that out. Nice and smooth. And then we're going to start the art, which is beautiful, the art of decorating the cake. And it's going to be gorgeous, okay? So now we're just going to pop that right on there. And see, like I said, I like tall cakes. Okay, this cake is between 4 and 4.5 inches tall. That's with your filling and your icing. And because this cake is for demonstration purposes, the tape measure may have touched the cake, but again, this is for us and we all right with that. But you wouldn't do that for your customers, of course, you would not. You would just, actually you would cover the ruler in plastic wrap and then put it up against the cake if you wanted to measure it. Okay, so here's the fun part. Now, we're going to ice this cake. So you could just take your piping tip and go around the cake so we can get the icing, and we don't have enough. So let's put some more in our bag as we go. And baking can be pretty messy. But it's all good because the final product is what you're talking about. That's what you're concerned with. It's not about getting the icing all over your hands in the bag, because nobody sees that when you're done. The customer doesn't see that part. All they see is complete beauty and taste great. Those are the two things you want: it to look good, taste great if it's for your family, You want it to look good and taste great too. So just go all around this cake like so. And if you want, you could just use your spatula. Just put some icing on your spatula and just go like that around the cake, see? Same difference. And we got plenty of icing on there, so we can just use that, what we already have on here. Because remember, this is a naked cake. You see, when we say naked, we want the layers to show. I'll bring it up to you. See, we want the layers to show. So we're gonna get it there. I'm gonna keep going so you can see. And as you're doing this, press inside, I'm doing this backwards. Press inside the grooves right there. See? Press inside those grooves too. See right there? I'm pressing inside the grooves. See, there's a groove right there, so we want to make it look like this. Okay? And I'm going to show you once I get it there. That's a gap in the cake, and that is normal. Because remember, we have that big filling in there, layer of filling. We have all that in there, and it's going to leave a gap for you. But that's why we have the dam. So the dam would hide all of that, would keep it from running out onto this beautiful pink that we're working with today. And all I'm doing is taking my knife and going around the cake. See, we have some right there, gap. See that gap right there? Look. Just take your knife and go right over it and smooth it out. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this and I'll be back. Alrighty, we're back. We are back. These are called scrapers, cake scrapers. This one had a little knob on the end of it. See that little knob, how it goes out? My husband was kind enough to shave that down for me. So if you got a tall cake, here you go. See, you still got that much room on your scraper, okay? Here's another scraper that I use, this one, and it has a hole, okay? And see, it's just right. See, you still got a little play at the top. So what you're gonna do is take your hand and go, say 3 o'clock, okay? Put your scraper at 3 o'clock, hold it straight up and down, turn, 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 turn back to where you started. Take your fingers and move it along the way. And there you are. See what you scrape off? Now, if we were doing this as a plain cake, as a straight cake, it would be gorgeous because smooth cake rather. If we were doing a smooth cake, again, start at 3 o'clock and just put your scraper right up to the edge of that cake. Come on around and just take these fingers as you're getting close and keep it going. And look at that. Beautiful. If you see gaps, just go back, take a little of your frosting that you grabbed off, fill them in. Just these little bitty gaps right here. Nothing major, nothing major. But this would be major if you were doing a smooth wedding cake. You want no gaps, no crumbs, smooth as silk, and this is how you do it. Start at 3 o'clock, come on around. Take those fingers and move it as you're going, and there you are. That's good enough. Well, let's get right in here on the top. Because again, remember, this is a naked cake. So you're gonna be taking off the icing. Actually, a lot of the icing. See how I've taken a lot of that off? I think that's good enough though. And right up here at the top, we'll always start with a clean. So scrape on the side of your bowl like so until you've got all that icing off, okay? Again, 3 o'clock and lean more towards the top because that's where we want to try to make that a nice edge, Okay. There we go. See, I'm still taking off. Okay, that's perfect. That's what we want. That is your naked cake, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So now, per the picture, we want to make some beautiful rosettes on the top layer and our border. So we're going to have to keep filling this bag. It's a little small, but you can buy these larger as well. I'm just using what I have on hand right now. So at the top, because this is where our strawberries are going to sit, right here at the top. Put that out of the way so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so now we just press, and release. That was an air bubble. Press, release. Press, release. 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2, 3, release. And I'll tell you what size tip this is also. 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2, 3, release. So this is just going to give you a beautiful decorative border, as you can see. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, release. You see how beautiful this pipes, this icing? 1, 2, 3, release. 1, 2, 3, release. And 1, 2, 3, release. As I'm counting, that makes them be approximately the same size, okay? So that's that. Now, on the edge of your cake, at the border, we want to take our flat palette knife and just go right up to the edge of the cake and slowly go around. And what we're doing by doing that is we're scraping the excess icing off of your cake board. See? Now you got a clean cake board. You also can have a damp paper towel like this. Now remember, this is cardboard, so you don't want it to be dripping wet. If it is, just drop it over, you know, squeeze a little the excess off. Then you just go right up to the edge of that cake and go around. Keep going until you've gotten all that extra crumbs and icing and what have you off of your cake. And that's it. And again, just take your palette knife if you see something and fix her up. Now, the best part, I think, is decorating. Okay, so we got some beautiful strawberries here. Fresh, clean strawberries. I cleaned them with vinegar and water. And now we want, oh, you know what? I cut these, I think, in the picture. So let's do the same thing. So we're gonna cut the tops off because that's how it was in the picture. This little doohickey here is a strawberry. You see how it's got the little edges on there? What it does is it takes out that middle part, that hard part, I say, of your strawberry. Look, it pops right out. See? See that? Then you want to just place it upside down on your cake, like so. And we're going to continue. Just cut that green stem off. And I'll try to link this. I'll try to find, and see this one you use for like a cantaloupe. You use this one. That's all right. So again, you're gonna hold it taut, go around and get your nice hold. Get that, you know, that part is kind of hard in there. And then you're just gonna place that strawberry right next to that one. Got a few more here and more if I need more. Just brought those out. Again, you're just gonna hold that nice and taut, scoop that out, and place it right there. How pretty is that? Gorgeous. Again, we're going to, got two more I think we can fit up there. Take that taut and just scoop that out of there. Put it right there. I think we got room. One more. And then we're gonna do something special in the middle. That is not on that cake, but I thought it would be beautiful for Valentine's Day on this cake. Okay, hold it taut again. And there we go. Okay. That's our last one. Perfect. Now, this cake is a lot smaller than the one that's in the thumbnail. That was, I believe, an 8-inch cake I did there. This is a 6-inch cake. But look how beautiful. Now, this is a personal size cake. You probably could feed about 20 people out of this cake. Really, really and truly, about 20 people. Okay, so what I want to do, special, because it is Thanksgiving. Lord Jesus, Thanksgiving, y'all. Valentine's Day. Thanksgiving. And I'm leaving that in. That's a blooper. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Although, y'all, Thanksgiving was just here. And here it is, Valentine's Day. Where's the time going? Lord. So, I love flowers. I love them very, very much. So what I did was I bought me some roses. And here they are. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Wow. Now that is a flower, okay? And what you want to do is get your flowers early so that they will droop like that, the leaves. See, you can really pull them down. That's what you want. You want to pull, fold them back to where they fall down. See? Just take that leaf, pull her back. Just get right on that edge there to where, see, look at that. Oh, that is gorgeous. That is so pretty. And then you're gonna leave this one the way it is, okay? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this one right on the top. Well, maybe not on the top because we don't wanna hide the strawberry. So let's cut her low. Got a real short stem on her, see? Now you cannot put cake. You cannot put flowers, real flowers, inside the cake unless you cover them with saran wrap. And that's what I do. I just take my saran wrap right here, cut a piece of this in half, or tear it, whatever. Okay. So what we're gonna do is cover up this bottom piece here. I like leaving the green stem because it's so the little stemmy part with the leaves. See, and now we want to cover the bottom where the food will touch. And look, there you go. You got a fully protected stem. So when you press in, your cake is only touching the stem part, okay? I mean the saran wrap part, not the flower. So let's look at this and see where we want to put her. I think it would be gorgeous right there. So let's just go right into the cake, right there. Okay? And push down on that. Oh my goodness. Y'all look. Is that not beautiful? Try to get you where you can see that. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Oh, I think it's absolutely beautiful. And again, take your leaves and just fold them back. See? Fold them back. There's going to be a little crease in them. There you go. I think that is absolutely gorgeous, y'all. I like working with live flowers on cakes. And if you check out my Instagram page, you'll see I have a lot of flowers that I use on my cakes, live flowers. I think that is just beautiful. Now, we're going to do the last part of this gorgeous cake, in my opinion, is to put our border. Again, it's a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Like that. Around that rose there. Gotta get down a little low. Pull some frosting down a little bit because we're almost at the end here. Back. Can you see? Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a beautiful cake, in my opinion. And my opinion counts, because I made it. And if we want, you can just fill this top up right here, a little icing in at the very top of that. Look at that. Just give it a little design at the very top and let it go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a beautiful cake. I hope you can see that. It is simply gorgeous. Y'all, I love editing. I love editing because I thought about something after I did all that with, you know, putting the little dollop in the middle, which is pretty. But I thought, why not put one more big strawberry right there with the leaves? Oh my gosh. Is that not gorgeous? Oh my gosh. I say yes. I say yes. Who would not want to receive this beautiful cake for Valentine's Day? I would be so happy to receive this beautiful cake for Valentine's Day. Or any day. Roses are all holiday. I love you just because. Doesn't have to be Valentine's Day, but I'm putting it there because I'm choosing to use red and pink for Valentine's Day. And see, you just take that leaf at the bottom of the rose and flip it back. So that way you have the big, big, beautiful. That's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. Well, I hope that you enjoyed watching tonight. And I hope that you'll come back and see me again. And I'm going to do some macaroons next, I think, for Valentine's Day, since it's coming up. And I'm going to show you how to use flowers in there with them. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to show you how to put some beautiful flowers together in a nice little small, those little slim macaroon boxes. Give them to your spouses, your significant others, your friends, your kids, teachers, whoever. And I think they'll just absolutely love them. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. Caramel, caramel, whatever cake. So that's what I'm going to do. And how about we cut this just so y'all can see. Wait, let me get a knife. My gadget's out the way here. Because I'm having some of this cake tonight. Now, we getting ready to taste this cake. I already know. As my mother said, I already know what time it is. This cake is going to be good. Look at that, y'all. Look, super moist. Look. Moist, moist, moist. I got to get me a whole piece. I'm not going to be greedy. My husband said, why you eat 2 pieces the other night? Because I wanted to. So now, I'm going to be good tonight. Y'all, you got to try this. You just got to try this. That is so good. Look how beautifully she cuts. Y'all, that's some good cake right there. If you want a strawberry cake that will have the people coming back for seconds, thirds, and fourths, this is the one. And again, see, when I put that little tint of color, because if you don't, it'll be more like a grayish color. But you put that little one drop of color in there, and Lord, Okay, I'm gonna have one more piece, and I'm gonna stop. Okay, y'all, I gotta quit. Oh. I was gonna tell you about these roses. Y'all, today I bought these roses, I think, yesterday. Yeah. And you see how they're standing up now? They weren't like that today. They were drooped over, okay? And yep, I went to University of YouTube and found out how to fix that. Look at this one. And they still on the rise. I just put this water in here maybe about 30 minutes ago because they were drooping. Look at them, standing straight up. All I did was boil some hot water, took all the stems, sat it in the water for like a minute, okay? Then when I took them out, I got my scissors and I cut that edge off on an angle like that. Say you don't have to, but I did, okay? Then I cut the stems. Well, I just cut that one off, so I'll show you this one. Oh, I didn't do that one, hold on. See what I did? I cut some of the stem off, see right there? So that the water could get up into the flowers. And here's the result. After I took that, cut the stem, then I took the container and I rinsed it out really good again. This one that I was using. And then I put 1 tablespoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of sugar, a pinch of salt, and about 1/2 tablespoon of baking soda. Swirl that around a little bit. Remember, the water is lukewarm, not hot, not cold, right in the middle. Set those flowers in there. 30 minutes, that's what I had. Them babies pooped right. Now this one here is still working. They said some of them may not come right back, but just leave them alone. In an hour or two, that flower will be like this. I hope y'all enjoyed my video. I had fun. I'm leaving the bloopers in too. I hope you'll come back and see me again. I love baking. It's a mess, but it's so beautiful in the end. Look at the end result, y'all. Look, look. It's worth it. To me, it's worth it. And the joy in people's face when they see their beautiful cakes, especially on birthdays and Valentine's and what have you. But I hope you'll come back and see me again. And again, if you would, please remember to subscribe. Please turn on the notification bell so that you'll know when I'm going to upload another video. Like the videos for me. I really appreciate it. I'm doing this for fun. I'm about to retire soon. So I'm trying to do things that I'm interested in and share them with the world. I believe this is a gift that God gave me to bake. And we are supposed to use our talents for the Lord. And if not, you know, the word says that those talents will be removed and given to someone else. So you don't want that. If God has given you a special talent, you don't have to be on YouTube doing it. Wherever you want to do it, just do it. Show the world your talents. And in doing that, God will get all the glory. And that's the aim, is to please God. So thank you so much for joining me again. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Be sweet until then. Bye-bye.